As you know, Thanasi, Becky Lynch recently won the NXT Women's Championship from Tiffany Stratton. And this was the last championship she needed to win to complete the Grand Slam in WWE. As such, I thought it fitting to devise a quiz on the history of the NXT Women's Championship.
Oh, fabulous.
So I've made up 10 questions in total. You ready to give it a crack?
Let's get on to the quiz.
All right. Well, question one: what year was the NXT Women's Championship introduced?
Um, I believe it was in 2000, or who was the inaugural champ? I think it was Paige was the inaugural champ. I believe it was 2014.
Very close. It was 2013.
Okay.
Yes. So as we know, NXT, the what we consider the black and gold era, I think started in 2012,
Hmm.
and the following years when they introduced the women's championship. So 2013. You brought up Paige, the inaugural champ. Paige defeated. This is for question two. Which Aussie wrestler in the tournament final to be crowned inaugural champion?
It is the wrestler currently known as Tennille Dashwood, then known as Emma.
That is correct. And as I'm sure you're aware, Tennille Dashwood returned to WWE last year, and she now is Emma once more.
Oh, you're right. Yes. She hasn't been
Wonderful.
appearing very often, so forgive me.
No, look. We'll give you that. Question number three: how many wrestlers have won the NXT Women's Championship? Now, there's a leeway of two here, but if you get it exactly right, I'll count it as an extra point.
Okay. Um, to be honest, the way that I'm going to go about it, I'm going to try listing as many as I can. So I'm going to go with Paige has done it, Charlotte's done it, Sasha's done it, Bailey, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Ember Moon, Kairi Sane. And this is, I think, around the time that I kind of stopped watching. So this is where my memory goes fuzzy. Obviously, we know Becky Lynch has it currently. Before her, what is Stratton, and then before Stratton, I'm at 10 now, and I'm just going to make a guess at the remainder of them. Mandy Rose is another one I could name off the top of my head, but let's go with 15.
You're in the margin.
I'm in the interval. Excellent.
So you get a point. The correct answer, and you're going to be so annoyed here, was 16.
Oh, okay, one off.
So you're very close. And this now leads into my next question, which is of those 16, how many have gone on to win a main roster women's championship?
Oh, that's a very good one.
And I'm talking singles women's championship. I'm not
Yes,
factoring in tag titles.
yes.
And
Um,
here I've also got a leeway of one as well.
okay.
So you've got a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah. Well, I know all of the four horsewomen, Asuka, Rhea Ripley. Um, Shayna Baszler has not won a singles title. Paige has won the Divas title. So that's seven. Um, I can't help but feel that I'm forgetting someone. So I'm going to go with one extra and say eight and hope that that's within the bound.
Well, your intuition paid off there because you got it exactly right.
Aha.
You're correct. You're missing one person, and that was Io Shirai or Io Sky,
Ah,
as we know them today.
yes.
So
Yes, the current reigning defending women's champion.
exactly right. Question number five: which wrestler famously won the NXT Women's Championship at the first Takeover Brooklyn in 2015?
At the first takeover Brooklyn, that's got to be Bailey. She must have defeated Sasha Banks in the Iron Woman match, I think, potentially.
It wasn't the Iron Woman match, but it was
Was takeover
Bailey,
Brooklyn.
and it was against Sasha Banks. Next question: three wrestlers have held the NXT Women's Championship for more than 1 year within a single reign. Name the three.
Asuka's one. Um, I'm pretty sure Shayna Baszler is the second. I don't know if it was her the immediate next reign, but no, I'm confident Shayna Baszler. And I want to say Mandy Rose.
You got the trifecta.
Aha.
Yep, that's exactly right. Asuka obviously has the distinction for being the longest reigning champion, but Shayna Baszler and Mandy Rose both had, as the question says, reigns that lasted more than a year. So kudos to them. Question number 7. Not counting Becky Lynch, who has the record for shortest reign?
Not counting Becky Lynch. Okay. That's because she's the current champion, I assume.
She's the current champion, and I thought, I don't want to
Hmm.
put her name in it.
I remember Ember Moon had a pretty short reign, but I'm not sure if there was anyone shorter than hers. But that's the best I can remember, so I'm going to go with Ember Moon.
That's incorrect. The correct answer is Indy Hartwell. She held it for 31 days, and then I believe she had to vacate it due to an injury. And yeah, so currently that's the shortest reign of any NXT Women's Champion. The next question, number 8. Who is the only person to have held the NXT Women's Championship simultaneously with a main roster championship?
It wasn't a very long crossover, but I know for 100% sure because I've watched the clip where she relinquishes the NXT Women's title, and that would be Paige.
That is exactly right. For viewers today who maybe don't know, it's Soraya as well, as she is known in AEW.
Yes.
She beat AJ Lee on her Raw debut to win the Divas Championship, and shortly after had to vacate the NXT Women's Championship as a result. But there was a crossover in which she had both. Question number 9. Now, this one I'm not going to lie, is a bit tricky. The NXT Women's Championship has changed hands twice on non-NXT specific events. Can you name the two wrestlers to have won the NXT Women's title on non-NXT events? And for a bonus point, can you name the events in which they won it?
Okay, so the first one that comes to mind is at WrestleMania 36 when Charlotte defeated Rhea Ripley to win the strap. As for the second one, I'm racking my brains here, but I can't seem to come up with anything. So I'm just gonna guess that it was So not on NXT programming. So
Not
like
on NXT
a
program.
Raw or a SmackDown or a pay-per-view. Let's say, just as a laugh, as a stab, that the Evolution pay-per-view in 2019.
Do you want to guess a wrestler?
I don't know. Shayna Baszler.
I actually can't believe you got that right. Oh my God. You got it completely right.
Did I actually?
Yep.
So this is 100% shoot. Like there is no way that I was ever gonna. That was a massive stab in the dark.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of pissed off because you clearly didn't know.
Wow.
But yes, it was the Evolution pay-per-view, and I think it was 2018. And Shayna Baszler beat Kairi Sane at that pay-per-view. And yeah, as we know, Charlotte Flair beat Rhea Ripley in the famous pay-per-view within the Performance Center in WrestleMania 36. So yeah, I can't believe it.
Good for me, Jesus.
All right. Well,
look. Let's be fair. It was an educated guess, right? I'm saying if there's any place for it to change hands, on pay-per-view is the right place, and a women's only pay-per-view is a fantastic place to showcase.
Which is probably why they did it.
Yeah.
The last question: how many times has the NXT Women's Championship main evented an NXT pay-per-view? And to clarify, I'm not counting TV special episodes. We're talking about specifically pay-per-view events.
So basically takeovers.
Essentially takeovers.
Okay. I think it probably has not main evented as many times as it should have. But obviously that doesn't keep getting me to a specific number. It just tells me that the number would probably be lower than I would expect. I'm going to stab with 3.
You did it again. Just pulled a number out of the dark. Yep, it is 3, and I've got them listed here. The first time was Takeover Respect, and this was the Iron Woman's match that you were talking about.
Okay.
So that was the rematch between Bayley and Sasha Banks, which Bayley won, I believe, 3-2. The next time wasn't until 5 years later, and it was at NXT Takeover in Your House 2020. Io Shirai beating Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
And then Io Shirai was in the other main event, which was at Takeover Stand and Deliver Night 1 in 2021. And that saw Raquel Gonzalez, or now known as Raquel Rodriguez, get the win.